Kofi Zulu podcast, and today we just want to look at relationship and marriage in a context of Ghana and Europe. I personally think that a lot of relationships don't work here. What are your opinions on
Thank you very much, my brother, for this opportunity once again. The fact that we are already talking about, we are referring to two different cultures, will mean that each culture would have a way of looking at things. And that is why when we try to compare how relationships and marriages are handled, that is to say, from Ghana to Europe, we would find divergent views and then results.
So is it culture or system? Because you see, you can have situations where a man will say, Charlie, I brought a respectable, very supportive lady from Ghana, Nigeria to, let's say, Europe, and then that person becomes a different person.
Whether you look at it as culture or system, one thing you should know is that in life, systems build culture.
Okay.
Because culture is a way of life, and then the system around any group will build their way of life. So, in a way, it is to say that an answer to the main question is that, in fact, these relationships and marriages in Ghana and relationships and marriages in the European context are built around two different systems. And that is why it will produce, or each system will produce, or each context will produce different results.
Okay. So if for me, in my view, I think that one of the reasons why relationships don't work here in Europe is that the system try to, protect the women, and the women from our side now take advantage of the system. And what they also don't understand is that as the system protects them, it has its flaws also. Because why? You see a lot of young African women really, really wish to be married and be called wives. However, do not want to be under the authority of a husband. If you see most of them, they want to live independently. At the same time, want to be wives. You see, this way, for me, I see the conflicting.
Anytime I get the chance to talk about marriage, what bothers my mind most is the fact that nature, in his own wisdom, knew why he created man and woman differently.
Okay.
The very first day where human being thought about the fact that man and woman are created equal is when we were trying to conflict the different roles assigned to these different genders. And anytime we conflict the roles of a man to that of a woman, that is where we would have issues. And like you said, when you are brought up in an environment, in a context where the system talks about man and woman really, really being equal, then it means that you are conflicting the roles of a man with that of a woman. And that is what will generate the difficulties.
Charlie, I think you've just hit on the nail. Like, for example, if here in Europe, you realize that there are families where a man has bills to pay and then the woman has bills to pay. I think that if you are a man and you find yourself in that situation, you must also compromise some of your authority.
Now, about 3 days ago, I chanced upon a message on social media that states, if a woman is completely independent and can afford all that she wants, how many of the marriages in Ghana, elsewhere, will still be sustainable? Answer this question.
Maybe 5%.
Your answer, what informed your answer is to say that, in fact, when the woman becomes so independent, where you begin to talk about man and woman being created equal, there will be challenges in relationships.
My belief is that as a man coming from Africa, even though sometimes we try to put a lot of burden on ourselves, but so far as you live in this system, you still also have to try and have some balance of principle. There are certain responsibilities as a man you must make sure you are doing it. Like maybe paying rent, paying your kids. If you have kids, you pay your kids' school fees. You don't let these things be done by other partner or the system, because when you do that, you lose the role and at the same time lose the authority to control that aspect of it.
Systems fashion our culture. What you are saying is perfectly right. But you realize that in Europe, if you are a Ghanaian living in Europe, you realize that when you are a man and you really, really want to be responsible, sometimes your income may not be able to cater for all what you're saying.
That's why I say you have to be strategic about it. For instance, you make sure rent, you are paying rent. Maybe your partner can buy food. If assuming the woman is paying rent, look, you can't tell that woman you should not put this thing over here. Do you get that? Is my mindset.
Exactly.
So I think
what you are
have
saying,
to be strategic. For instance, about child support and stuff like that. I think if you are a smart man and you are living within the European context, those monies, don't even ask your woman how much is it, what is it done for. Leave it for the wisdom of the woman to use it to support the family.
What you are saying is what in economics we call what ceteris paribus. Okay. That is all things being equal.
With all things
being equal. Now, but life is not even constant. We behave, we react based on the way we are constructed by environment and our personality. So what you are saying, like I said, is when things are held constant. Now, you expect that the smart Ghanaian who finds himself in Europe should be able to continue doing what is expected of him to kind of sustain his authority, the head of the family.
That's why I say you have to be balanced about it. You can't do all. Then it means that, Charlie, at the end of the month, nothing will remain you.
But I was coming there because you were talking about smart guys. But what about if the person is not smart? That's another. If the person is not smart, would you say because you are not smart, you shouldn't live a life?
No, if you are not smart, that's when you will throw your things.
That is exactly what is happening. Now, back to my beginning of the conversation. You see, in Ghana, even when you are not smart, it looks like the system has been created. So family helps.
But here you are on your own.
Good. So you said we have to be smart. And if I'm not smart, but you are saying but I'm not smart.
I was telling someone that one of the trivial reasons why some marriages, or relationships get aborted is just because of petty things. For instance, if I should be living with a woman and she has the title to the place, I'll make sure there are some things I don't even complain about it.
Good. So maybe through platforms like this, maybe we'll only have to increase sensitization to let people know that, in fact, when you are from different cultures, that is to say, when you are from a different culture and you find yourself in another different culture, you quickly, as much as possible, adapt to the ways of doing things in the new culture. Yeah. That is the only way
women can adapt, but the women not. Let me tell you why. See, the white women or the white system, the woman is earning salary, the man is earning salary. So you see these people go to market, the man buys certain things and pay. The woman also buys certain things and pay. Rent can be shared, they understand each other, and then they probably even have some money kept like a family money. But the African woman, in his head, because the dad has been responsible for school fees, paying house rent, paying utility bill, paying everything, in her mind.
Do not harbor in your minds all things that you have. It will not sustain your marriages. That is to say, you also as a lady should be able and be willing to adapt, to support and adjust to the new trend.
And be transparent.
Exactly.
If you are a young man and you find yourself in this environment, you must also learn to do basic things to support the house. Like how to cook, how to clean the house. Mm-hmm. You don't leave everything on your partner because she's also working. You understand? She's probably also
we only tend to neglect the role communication plays in our relationship. Communication is not about imposition. Communication is about, this is what we are going through. This is what is on the table. Let's share our opinions on them.
On your final distance, what advice?
The advice I will give finally to the audience is that, in fact, we are talking about two different cultures. So anytime you find yourself in a different culture, first of all, try to understand the nitty-gritties of the system built around the culture, and then look at how best you can adjust so that the effect of the culture wouldn't be so dire on your lifestyle. That's all.
Charlie, that's a smart respond. You need to really watch the video and take some wisdom out of it. I also think that men over here should learn to support. You have to understand that your partner is also working, so you might also be tired, and don't over stress. So at the end of the tunnel, it will go against you. And Charlie, if you are a young guy, you are watching this video, you are here, bro. Don't build your life around others. Think of yourself also. You need your peace of mind is very important. Charlie, we are out.